$1.40 to $1 million. You know, 3-4 digits here this year, I could see that. I actually think that personally. But again, that requires macro events. And so on the macro side, you know, still watching oil hang out around 17,000 yen per barrel. Still watching the JPY 10-year continue to rise. Bond yields are rising across the board. People selling off bonds because they are scared that they are going to have some volatility or not be, you know, paying out. Japan has dumped a ton of treasuries in the last couple months here to be able to push the yen up against the dollar or strengthen their currency. But I think, you know, they've intervened in the currency market 5 times now. Like I said, Monday, if they do one more time, they might have one more time before the IMF will step in. And then I do think we're going to see them raise interest rates. We have Warsh signed in or sworn in. I think last Friday was his first day. I watched a interview with him where he talked about reducing the Fed's balance sheet and lowering interest rates, which they would have to do. You know, I talked about the 2 levers on Monday. If you didn't see that, I would go check it out. For me, you know, watching what they're doing with monetary policy, if you knew a deflationary collapse was coming, you would front run it. You would print a ton of money, which is exactly what they've done. They've dumped, you know, tons of money into the economy. M2 money supply is at an all-time high. Debt is at an all-time high. But if you knew that the economic growth and the deflation that was going to happen because the convergence of AI and blockchain was coming, you would probably do the same thing. So excited for this year in 2026 for the application of AI at scale, Anthropic, and many other. Here's a fun statistic. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I thought it was interesting. Sam Bankman-Fried, you know, the infamous FTX deal, his private equity that he dumped when all that was going on would be worth $151 billion today. He owned like 10% of Anthropic back then. So, you know, I'm not saying that if they had left him alone, everything would have been okay. But, you know, there's enough value there that he could have definitely made everybody whole multiple times over at this point. So, and FTX was more collateralized than the banks are. The banks are fractional reserve lending. You know, they hold 10 to 1. You know, they're able to loan 10 to 1. So basically they have a tenth of the reserves that they have out. And FTX actually, I think it had like 30 or 40% of what they had when they went under. So, you know,